Whoa, it's the Illusion reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth. I'm up here in Bluffs Park, future site of the Malibu skate park. I'm meeting with one of the neighbors to the property, and we're organizing a skateboarding party. It's kind of cool. We're going to rent a bunch of ramps, get the kids skating, celebrate. A mixer, so to speak, so everyone can get to know each other. And so that's what I'm doing. But I thought I would check in for a hot moment because I just got done going to the doing some more shopping. I'm personally getting my family ready to hunker down at home for a month. Maybe happen, maybe not. Worst thing that happens is I got some extra toilet paper and stuff. But what was real interesting was other people are on the move now. I went to Costco this morning, and all people were buying was water and disinfectant wipes and medications and stuff. You know, your over-the-counter stuff, which I thought was interesting. And even Costco's limiting the number of boxes of disinfectant wipes you can get to 2 per customer. So there you go. And then I went over to Target. Get my see what's up with the Chinese made goods. And see, I'm one of those. Like, everyone's like prepper, dude. Like, people forget to get the other stuff. Like, you got to make sure your ladies have all their feminine products, if you know what I mean. Especially if you're going to be there for a month. That's a 30-day cycle, fellas, dude. You got to have that base covered. And then, you know what other people forget about is entertainment. So I bought a bunch of puzzles today. I got some puzzles for Owl. I got some advanced puzzles for the me, mom, and the minigram. I got some art supplies. All of those things can be used in the long run. But the interesting thing was, so I was going to get some hand sanitizer and stuff, and I was kind of cruising around. I was getting some other like spray disinfectant, just again, use it around the house, all that kind of stuff. And I overheard a very interesting conversation between one of the people that works at the Target and some customers, and they were like, they wanted to get the hand sanitizer, and the gal's like, dude, we can't keep that stuff in stock. There's no hand sanitizer here, but I have one thing that most people are overlooking, and that is the travel packets of the hand sanitizer wipe. And I overheard this data point, and I went and I got the last 11 of them in the store, because you could see, especially again at the Target, you could see the disinfectants and the medicines are dwindling. And so then, it's very interesting. But again, I'm not a doom and gloomer. I'm more of a like, dude, it's time to get the snacks out and the popcorn and watch all the panickers going. Because again, what I noticed is the crowd that was, and again, Target was the same thing. People buying water, disinfectant, toilet paper. But the way people were operating was like me, was very casual, very low pro, not trying to show any signs. And I think there's a weird thing that goes on too, where people are almost embarrassed to prepare for themselves because they don't want to buy into like fear porn and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And so they're not doing it. But the people like me, we're just slowly accumulating stuff. But you can see the calm before the storm. I guess that's what I was getting to today's video, is there's a definite calm before the storm. And you could tell that you don't want to be in the store, because I bought the last of these today. Like, if you went to the Target in Westlake today, there's no more of these or any sort of hand sanitizers. And then I did a fun little experiment. I went by some smaller hardwood stores. You couldn't get a particle mask to do a drywall job if you tried. So again, the funny thing about this is working professionals have been put in danger, because if you have to go out and work and do a drywall job, you don't have any face protection. You couldn't get it, so you're going to have to go and sand stuff and breathe up whatever it may be, fiberglass, wood, dust, drywall, which I think's a little bit uncool. But again, it's this thing. I made a video a month ago about how I went to Home Depot to check it out, and you couldn't get any of that stuff then. So we had our first, today in Northern California, we had our first community-based Corona-chan person, which means that they didn't come from overseas. They're not mingling with anyone from overseas. So it's like, it's already here. But what you're going to see is there's going to be a point where everyone's like, and I'll tell you, dude, what's this going to do? Nothing. Makes you feel good, dude, because if it's already here, we've all been touching ourselves and doing this stuff for weeks and weeks. And they say whatever it was can last on a surface for up to 9 days. It's like, you can't get into the negative thing. But again, the heads up to everybody is you don't want to have to be in line, because I'll tell you what, if there is some sort of controlled mechanism by the state or the government that says that you can't go out in public to buy groceries or whatever it is without a mask, you're not getting a mask. There are no masks to be had, by the way. So if you don't have your supply of N95s or whatever they are, your respirators, you're not getting one today. I mean, you might. I just poked around over in my zone, dude. None of that stuff's available. So what would happen is you're not going to be able to go get food and stand in line, because they're going to require you to have a mask. And if you don't have a mask, how are you going to get the food? Again, you have a chance to go get all the stuff you need. Worst case scenario, dude, you just don't have to buy groceries next month. Worst case scenario, you've got a puzzle. Just save your receipt and you can return it within 30 days, dude, right? So I bought, $60 worth of puzzles. If I don't open them and I keep the receipt and it doesn't look like this is a big nothing burger, I'll just return them and it's all good. So there's a certain vibe I'm tripping on, is like, and I see it, dude, you don't want to be the next phase of this thing. Like, I'm pretty much gonna just go buy my condiments and like extra spices and little treaters today at the Trader Joe's type of stuff. And then I don't have to do any preparing. It's just standard grocery shopping from here on out. And if the curtain comes down, I'm not worried about it. I have everything I need at this point. I even got a couple extra Life straws and, again, usable products, dude. There's nothing that I've purchased today to prepare for this potential, whatever it is, fear porn, controlled government control. I look at it more like that. I'm not so worried about like the Corona-chan. I see this more as the government is running a dry run on seeing if they can lock down giant populations. I mean, China can, it's a communist country, but I think they need to see if they can do it in a gun-toting free state like the good old USA. And, so silver lead beans, dude. Silver lead beans, water purifiers, dude. Water. The basics, and some puzzles and some art supplies for the kids and a couple books to read, dude, and you're good to go, man. I got to get some candles. But the funny thing, I was listening to someone else doing the upside, the positive thing. If we're all stuck at home and the kids can't go to school for a month, you know what that means? Homeschooling. And people, I'm telling you, dude, you don't want to have your kids in a public education system. You don't. You want to homeschool. So I was listening to this thing about how Hong Kong, there's 800,000 kids that can't go to school for the next month, and they've already been out of school for a month. And you know what everyone's doing? Rediscovering homeschooling and being like, oh. So I think there's a couple upsides on this thing if it really does go sideways. Is America might realize that we need to manufacture our goods in country, and that we got to stop importing all this stuff, that we need to make it in the good old US of A, and that homeschooling's a good thing, and that taking care of our health is a very important aspect to our reality. And look, I'm looking at the upside of this, dude. Like I said, I ain't worried about it, but because I'm prepared for it, dude. And there's nothing that I've spent $1 on that doesn't have value in my life moving forward. So, I mean, think of it like that. You're just investing in yourself. So I would say go, if you have if you're like, don't have a lot of money and you got a piggy bank full, go put that into the cash machine and buy some extra food and stuff, dude. Look at your kids and be like, what would my kid need at home for a 30-day thing? They need some puzzles, some paint by numbers, some paper. I got extra pads of paper. Think about it, because like I was thinking about it in the thing, and I was like, oh, a lot of Owl's pens are dried up, so I got some new pens. I got all sorts of new stuff, so when it does go sideways, because it looks like it's gonna, maybe not, I don't know, I have pens. I'm not sitting there with paper with no pens. We got to think deeper. I got feminine products for the girls in my house, for the women. You know what I mean? It's that, think a little bit outside the box, dude, and realize that once you have your beans, lead, bullets, and all that stuff, you can expand the scope of what you need, because no longer are you thinking about the basics of it. Anyway, this is The Illusion signing off, dude. Let me go. I got to go do this meeting.